here.
Come on
Right
in.
here.
We are already live, so
I always get confused, or I would say feeling anxiety whenever Chris is around because I love Chris's energy. Let me tell you that. So.
well, thank you for being here, Raj. I'm going to have you introduce yourself in a moment here. This is brand new for us. We have a brand new streaming network, the BPC Streaming Network. We're live at our Book of Lists Unveiling event that's taking place tonight, and we thought we're going to have 700 or so of our favorite friends and folks from around the community here. We thought, why not bring some folks on? Talk to them for a few minutes about what's going on in their world, some priorities for the year, and get a little bit of a flavor as we kick off the new year. So, Raj, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
So I'm Raj Agnihotri, as Chris mentioned, and I'm the Raisbeck Endowed Dean of Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University. Took this role July 1st, so you're still learning the ropes, but been part of Iowa State for over 8 years.
Well, July 1st, so you've been in the role about 6 months or so. As you're looking at the new year, what's maybe a key priority, something that you're looking to be pursuing this year?
Definitely, I would say a couple of things I can mention, but top the chart, artificial intelligence, AI. Within the first semester, I would say within 100 days, we built task forces within Ivy College of Business to make sure we are ready for AI inclusion and integration on the teaching side as well as on the research side. And now this spring, I think fresh from the oven, this is a great platform to announce. This spring we'll be launching Bacon Center for AI Ethics in Business.
Oh, wow.
So Ivy College of Business, Iowa State University will aim to become the thought leader in the ethics perspective when we talk about artificial intelligence and corporate America. I think that everybody's rushing towards AI, but somebody got to wait and see, are we doing it right?
I imagine there's a few potential pitfalls as you go through it. As you've integrated some of those task forces, what have maybe been some of the interesting findings or learnings along the way?
One thing is nobody's sure. Faculty members within the faculty group, Dr. X is doing it differently than Dr. Y. Students, they are all figuring it out. And I think we need more policy, we need more perimeter, dimensions, where we go, how we do it. So uncertainty is the one thing. And the second thing, what I'm learning from my friends from corporate, is what is the depth and breadth of the knowledge of new hires that they are bringing to the forum. How much AI they should know. AI could be friend, AI could be enemy. So we are figuring out that balance, Chris.
Well, you guys have been a long-time sponsor of the Book of Lists, and just want to thank you for your support of that product. Tell us a little bit about how you hope to use this event tonight for Ivy College of Business.
I would like to say thank you for support to Business Record, to Chris, to you, Connie. This is a great platform to connect to the businesses of Iowa and our friends here in Des Moines and Central Iowa. David Spalding, the previous Raisbeck Endowed Dean, Ivy College of Business, we chatted, and this came up as a top of the list event, premium event. Where else you see that many leaders gather under one roof, So my goal is to shake as many hands as I can. Learn from our friends here, and then find the fit, how we can work together.
Yeah. Mentioned 6 months on the roll, and now you have a new boss to be reporting to. So I know he hasn't started yet in the role, but talk a little bit about transition for the college as well, and how you might hope to navigate through that.
We met. So Dr. David Cook, president-elect, is starting from March. We met yesterday, and we had a great conversation. In every conversation, and let me summarize you what the Iowa State is going to look like.
Did you tell him it was the easiest job?
Absolutely. No. Lesson learned from last time from Dan House to remember. So one lesson I learned, don't say that. But one thing I did mention about Business Record, our partnership, and this event. And he asked how we are doing in the Des Moines area and Central Iowa, because that's what Iowa State should be doing. And I said, no, we are very much rooted here in Des Moines. But one thing I got to tell you, going forward, the goal would be futuristic technology, enrollment management, and really truly envisioning the land-grant mission of Iowa State University. That's what I heard from Dr. Cook, and he's very excited, very excited.
Great. Well, Raj, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for supporting and sponsoring the event. It helps us put on things like this, so we really appreciate it, and good luck here in the new year.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to bring another guest on. All right, we're going to bring on our next guest, Tej.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome, Tej. I'm going to have you introduce yourself for the audience, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Tej Dhawan, Managing Director for Plains Angels and 2946 Ventures.
Tej has been a long time reader, subscriber, advisor to Business Record. He sits on one of our advisor boards. And so Tej, one of the things I'm asking people is just what's a priority of yours for the new year as you're kind of kicking things off and you're hoping to maybe accomplish this year?
Well, so our primary priority is to keep focusing on the entrepreneurs in our community. Between our angel funds, between the venture groups across the state and in the region, we want to make sure that entrepreneurs have access to capital and grow and build their businesses here.
When you think about maybe a challenge or something that you're trying to address this year, what would maybe be something that you're thinking about?
So the biggest challenge is as AI displaces people from regular employment, they're likely to go to other markets. Seek jobs in other markets, but we can show entrepreneurial people that there are opportunities right here. So keeping the brain capacity within the region, within the state, and helping grow businesses at the same time, that's the challenge and the priority of the center.
The dean of the business school was just here momentarily before that, and he was talking about that they're launching an ethics program specifically about AI.
Sure.
So that's going to be a big component of how he's trying to do it, and that's the reality. A lot of people have a lot of questions about that topic. I know that's an area that you spend a lot of time talking about and thinking about as well.
Well, so AI algorithms and ethics have been at an intersection for a while. I mean, the books have been written about it and published for years, right? But ultimately, ethics comes down to what would you do as a regular human in a day-to-day interaction? Whether it's an AI in the middle of your and my conversation or just our regular business opportunities, we need to come from a position of integrity and ethics. AI ethics is just another segment of that. So I think the field is ripe for more discussion, more development, and more research.
Any other thoughts that you have for us tonight on the new year, things that you're looking forward to?
I can't wait to meet all the new people who have moved to our community. There has been inbound activity into the state, so I'm particularly proud of this book and see who I don't know and get to know next.
That's one of the things I'll talk about tonight. There's been a ton of transition, and you'll see that in the faces within the book as well, and that's one of the tools that's there. So, Tej, appreciate it as always. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to bring on our next guest.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tej. All right. We have a very special guest with us. So Connie Weimer, our founder and chairman. Connie, one of the questions that I'm asking everybody is to talk about a big priority for the next year ahead. And so just how are you thinking about 2026 and the year ahead?
Well, I'm feeling very upbeat, as you already know. And I think it's a time that every company has to reevaluate where they are, what their goals are, and how it fits into our current atmosphere. And I'm very optimistic about 2026.
Well, one of the things that came up in one of our recent leadership team meetings was about how people are feeling about the economy, how are people thinking, and there's a lot of things happening in the world, and one of the interesting things that we were hearing was that when people are talking about their own businesses, they feel really confident actually, and that's how I feel. We're feeling confident about the year ahead, and so talk a little bit about some of the things that lead to that confidence for the next year.
Well, I think it's the workforce that we have. It certainly is in our company. We have such an incredible, bright, committed group of people. And when you're surrounded by people like that, you know you're going to succeed if anyone's going to succeed. So I credit the Des Moines workforce, and particularly in our company, our staff is just extraordinary.
You've had to prepare for a lot of New Year's in your life. 94? Right?
93.
93. I didn't want to give it an extra year on there.
No, not yet.
So as you prepare for a new year, what are some of the ways that you think about that?
I think about it all year long. I don't do resolutions or because I love change. I think change is healthy and inevitable both. And so all year long I'm thinking about how can we do this better? What can we do that will help the community or some specific cause that needs help?
Well, we've got a lot of ways that we're planning to help the community in the year ahead, and Connie, of course, is always shaping and driving and coming back with lots of new ideas. We'll talk about some of those later tonight, but Connie, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Chris.
And hopefully we'll see you soon. All right. Come on in.
I know, I got caught. She was
All right.
like, are you doing this?
Bridget, welcome.
Thank you.
Bridget, I'm going to have you introduce yourself. I know who you are, but talk a little bit about
Okay, am I looking at you or looking at the... Okay, all right. Bridget Cravens-Neely with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Iowa, where I serve as the CEO.
Great. So, how long have you been in the role now?
So it's been 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So the question I'm asking everybody is, what's a big priority for the year, something that you're hoping to really focus in on in 2026?
In 2026, we are focusing on closing out our 3-year strategy, and a lot of it is focused on efficiencies and just so we don't have to scale back necessarily, but eliminate some waste, do some things better. Better utilization of AI. Can't believe I'm saying that.
4 conversations in a row that AI has come up in some capacity. So
But it
I'm going to
has
start
to,
keeping
right?
track.
But it has to these days. And so even from a nonprofit space, we're seeing a lot of our sister organizations as well as a lot of our sister agencies in the network that are utilizing AI very effectively. That could free up time for us to be able to do some of those things that we want to do, that we know we need to do, that will help us elevate what we deliver to the youth of our community. So being able to serve better and more is a huge focus.
One of our, I'm not sure if it's actually out, but this Friday our Power Breakfast topic for the next one in February will be out, and we're going to be talking about the nonprofit community and a lot of the pressures and challenges that the nonprofit community is facing.
And I'm not on that panel.
This is your tryout, right? I don't know. I'm not in charge of that one, so I can absolve myself.
No pressure, Chris. I love seeing you squirm.
We'll make sure to find you a perfectly appropriate time to get you on the panel. That topic, though, I think is something that is really important to so many folks in the business community that serve on boards and are a part of it, and the community's under a lot of strain and pressure from a lot of different angles. Talk a little bit about some of the pressures that you've navigated over the past year and are anticipating.
Yeah, it's just, I'd say, paying attention to the executive orders and seeing what the trickle-down effect is going to be from a nonprofit standpoint. A lot of people think, if you're not getting federal funding, well, you're not impacted, and that's not true. We don't receive federal funding, but we do receive some state funding, and that because of some of the changes at the federal level, one of the grants we receive is not going to be renewed next year. And so we've got to now find replacement funds. And so that's probably one of the biggest challenges we've got to overcome is being able to find those additional funding sources, really being innovative and stepping into areas of funding that we haven't ever gotten into before. And there's a lot of there's a lot of learning that has to be done there. So the curve is a little bit long, but we have to do it at rapid pace in order to be able to enter that area correctly so that we don't turn people off, but turn people on to us.
Well, and I imagine as you're looking for different funding sources, have you had some success looking for different areas or some different things?
We have had some success in finding some of those areas, and so we're really leaning into those areas a lot more now. It's a stronger leverage on our board. It's utilizing them in a different way than when we have before, so really looking for their brain power and their thinking power and their influence. Always looking for their influence. I mean, that's obviously why we're here tonight, right? But and looking for that influence in a different way. Instead of just helping us fundraise, it's like, okay, we need to really put our brain power together, start whiteboarding some things and figuring out how we're going to navigate this. And then also from an expenses standpoint, as a smaller nonprofit, our infrastructure. There's certain things that we need that we don't have in-house. One of those things is HR support. Our HR duties are done by myself and another one of my leadership team members. We've we need to be focused on other things, not necessarily that. That's just one small thing. But I know that one of the other challenges is there's so many of our sister organizations out in the community that were heavily dependent on federal funding that are now having to develop a new skill set and going out and doing their own fundraising or doing events or doing more private donor pursuits and things like that, which creates a challenge for us because if they are considered an essential need, while some may not consider ours to be an essential need, then that creates, unfortunately, competition.
I hadn't thought about it through the lens of competition, and it's not competition in the sense that the things that the different organizations are bringing are all critical and important,
Yes.
but it's competition over resource.
Yes.
And when there's competition for
Yes.
resource, it
Yes.
puts strain on some of those things that have been good, healthy things in our community
Yes.
over the years. There's always competition.
Yes.
You're always competing for funding, I'm sure, in some fashion. But that's a new dynamic.
It's a very new dynamic for us, and so it's something that, we kind of had a little bit of a foresight on. I'll say I had a little bit of a foresight on just because I'm one of those people who really looks 3 to 5 steps ahead to try and not be surprised in a bad way. I love great surprises, good surprises, but I hate the bad ones that create those obstacles or create those challenges. And so
There were a few surprises last year.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. Yes, there were.
Well, hopefully we don't have any big surprises this year, but I'm sure it's the nature of the world, right?
Yeah,
There's going to be some changes, and we'll navigate through
Exactly.
it. So, Bridget, thank you for your leadership and for the work of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I appreciate you. So you guys are such a great partner, so thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. We got one coming on in. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. So good to be with you.
So tell me, we're going to have you tell a little bit about yourself and your new role, and we'll go from there.
Very exciting. So exciting to be here for the first time as the Chief Advancement Officer for United Way of Central Iowa. So it's been a little bit of a transition away from the arts and culture sector, but really excited about the new role and the possibility of helping in an expanded way throughout the challenges facing our community.
So you've done great work in the community for a number of years, and was happy to see that you found a great place, a United Way to put your time and energy into. We just had Bridget here from the nonprofit community.
Yes.
We were talking about the challenges of the nonprofit world. I would ask you what your key priority is for the year, but I know new role, so what's maybe a key priority or something you're exploring as you're starting?
I think for us at United Way of Central Iowa, the trick is always being the convening and connecting partner between the needs in the community and the things that we're hearing from the corporate community and the individual giving community that we can help support. So it's just making sure that that intersection is happening in meaningful ways. And nonprofits there's a lot of things that are happening in the news cycle that are causing us to have a lot of concern about the short-term economic forecast and the different things happening, that we all need to rally around whenever possible to affect change on. So being responsive is probably the priority for us at United Way.
Well, and I imagine over the past year in particular with all the different changes and transitions and surprises was what Bridget said. We had to navigate a lot,
That's right?
And you being in that position, talk a little bit about your role and what that role is meant to do for the United Way.
Sure. Well, in support, along with, of course, I think you'll be talking later to Mary Sellers, our advancement team works with getting the strategic communications messaging out to particularly our corporate partners and the affinity groups that we're working with, and as well as our volunteer groups. So just making sure that we're a unified voice supporting the efforts for the nonprofits that we're representing throughout the community.
What about the United Way role was attractive for you personally?
Well, first and foremost, it's being able to support. Des Moines has become home, so Central Iowa, and being able to stay here with my husband and continue, hopefully, expanding the aperture of the good that we're able to do in this area is really important. And I have always supported the United Way of Central Iowa, so supporting in this new way is an exciting new chapter for us. And of course, arts and culture is essential too, so we'll support Des Moines Freeing Arts and all of our amazing arts and culture organizations personally as well.
Good. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you
Thank you,
stopping
Chris.
by.
Thanks for all that Business Record does. We're so grateful for your role in our community and all of these things, this event, honoring nonprofit partners. It's just, it's an essential point, I know, of what you do, and we're just grateful for all of the sunshine and spotlight you put on these important areas of our community.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for stopping
Yeah,
by. I
of
appreciate
course.
it. Thank you. All right, we're waiting for one of our next guests to come on. hello there.
Well,
Two Chris's.
exciting.
Welcome.
Well, thank you,
Chris, introduce yourself.
Christopher-
People probably have seen you around multiple times. So,
Christopher Meharry, owner of Meharry Photography.
so you are the, by default, like the master networker of the whole community because you're at events taking photos of everybody and everyone. So welcome tonight. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It is interesting. I don't take it for granted, but it's interesting that what I do for a living is networking and at times advertising for what I do. But I think you just get to infiltrate a room with a camera. And I call it, I get to heckle people, because that's essentially, if you're a social photographer, that's kind of what you're doing. You're walking up, you're heckling them in a good way, and hopefully they have rapport with you so they realize, oh, the joke I've used is, if you just put up with me, I leave. If you smile, I take your photo, and then I'm gone. So it's okay.
There you go. Yeah, I would imagine folks feel all sorts of different pressures once you got a camera in their face, right?
They do, I think. Yes. But what's interesting, thankfully, they understand that if they look, and one of the things I say is, if you look silly, I just erase it. So hopefully you get the street cred of making sure that they look okay. And these events, you set me up and them up for success because the event's nice. It's at a nice venue. People show up and they put their lip balm on and they do all their things, and so everything's good.
You're already starting with a good product, is what you're saying. That's
Correct. Correct.
Well, I'm asking everybody, what's a key priority for the year for you ahead?
Key priority, I would say, to really pay attention to what Des Moines' doing. Yes, every year Des Moines changes, but I think, with whether it's the political climate, with whether it's the social climate, whether it's, Des Moines has certain areas of growth that are poised to happen, like the Market District, for instance. It's poised to happen. It'll be interesting to see when and where it happens. And then all the events that keep happening in and around Des Moines. We've got the Casey Center, and that Vibrant is having more and more events there. I mean, I photograph a lot more social events there than people would realize. Holiday parties, charitable events. It's not just for concerts, so that's interesting as well.
Chris, appreciate you being here, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Go enjoy the self. Yeah.
Boom.
Come on in. Oh, great. He's cutting the line.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
He likes cuss. He likes cuss. You want to
Dan,
cuss.
hello there, Dan. How are you?
Great,
Introduce
great.
yourself for us.
I am Dan Corin. I am the owner of Commercial Owners Rep in Real Estate.
Great. Well, thanks for being here. I know you've come to a lot of our events and been a lot of things. I'm asking folks today a key priority ahead for the year for you. That's something you're watching.
The key priority for me is just being out, getting more involved with the community, and being involved with the community always pays off in this market.
So tell me a little bit about, you've got your own business now. Talk about some of the things that you all do and that you're hoping to accomplish with that.
So I do commercial real estate, and the thing that is kind of growing in our market is owner's rep. So working with a lot of tenants and owners over the years, I really grew this knowledge base, and now it's something that I realize that I could offer to my clients as well.
That's great. What are maybe some trends that you're seeing in real estate and development as you're thinking about the year ahead?
Yeah. So I believe that the real estate market is going to be good. I think we need to make sure that there aren't more hiccups in our market. So hopefully we won't have government shutdowns. Hopefully we won't experience so much uncertainty. But I think with some certainty coming on with the this next 12 months, I think it should be good.
It was interesting. The architecture billings just came out, and they were up for the first time in I think a little while. Which that's always one of those leading indicators that if architects are busy, that means people are making plans, and that's always a good thing. So Dan, thanks for stopping by.
You.
We really appreciate it, and go enjoy yourself.
Will do.
All right. Hey there. I think we got Jeff first, and then we'll got Beth. Yeah, come on in. I'll have you stand right here on the X. Okay. Although I'm not sure we planned for somebody so tall. Oh, it works. That's good.
Okay.
All right, welcome. Jeff, introduce yourself.
I'm Jeff Fleming. I'm an artist in Des Moines.
Just an artist in Des Moines, because what did you used to do?
I was director of the Des Moines Arts Center for 17 years.
So how are you enjoying?
Now I'm retired.
I was going to say, how are you enjoying retirement?
Oh, retirement is fantastic.
All right,
now
so
I can pursue other interests as well.
Good. So you talk a little bit about maybe a key priority for you in the year ahead.
To make a better world. How about that?
That's a good priority. That gives you some a blank canvas
I
to
guess
work with.
there's a lot of good that needs to be done, so let's give it a try.
So when you were the Art Center director, were you painting yourself as well during that time, or was it more focusing on the Art Center itself?
Probably focusing on the Art Center itself. Certainly did this and that, but nothing like now working in the studio every day. But certainly what I did there I see as a very creative act, creating exhibitions, creating publications, interacting with the community. It's all a process.
Okay, so now I know you have a gallery that's opening this Friday.
Actually, yes, tomorrow night, the 9th, 5 to 8, Moberg Gallery.
I'm already.
I know. It's the Milky Way. It's a whole series of paintings on the Milky Way.
All right. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but we're going to be doing our unveiling of the cover of Book of Lists in a little bit, and maybe you should pay attention to that if you're interested in the Milky Way. We'll just say that.
Sounds exciting to me.
Jeff, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully enjoying retirement. Check out his gallery on Friday night, and maybe also in some business record products coming up soon.
That's great.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. All right. Welcome, Beth. How are you? Thanks, sir. Step right on the spot there.
All right.
All right, Beth, we're already live, so introduce yourself and then what you do.
All right, Beth Shelton, and I'm the CEO of Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa.
Well, it's great to see you, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So I'm asking everybody what a key priority is for them in the year ahead.
Okay, well, see, a key priority for me personally is to continue on a healing journey. I had a little injury this past year.
Okay.
So, to continue on that, but it always kind of weaves really closely into mental well-being and how I take care of that. But then I think that crosses over really easily into the workplace, always thinking about how we address employee well-being and just overall work-life balance. Burnout is a very real issue, so those are some of the things that we're constantly trying to tackle in new and different ways.
I'm kind of putting a couple things together here, but the past year, people have adapted to a lot of change, a lot of transition in the world. And that does create strain for folks. And so talk a little bit about some of the maybe tips or things that you've done to try to help keep yourself at a good position.
Yeah, well, a couple of my favorite things are physical activity, which again had a little bit of bumps in the road with that this year,
Which had to be frustrating, I'm sure.
Oh, so much so. But I think, one of the things I've gotten a little better at, my favorite saying is, that being the case, how shall I proceed? So when I lost use of one of my feet here this year, and as I go through healing, really early on, I was like, okay, it is really unfortunate that I can't do all the things I love, pickleball and running and kickboxing. And I was like, that being the case, what am I going to do about it? And I made a list of what are things I can do that are stationary that would be bucket filling. And I just tried to lean into that right away. So I took up watercolor painting. So the silver lining is that's something I wouldn't have done, but rather to kind of spin out in kind of a hopeless state of how frustrated I felt. And I think I really try to apply that kind of thinking into our workplace. And so when we encounter things that are really unfortunate that we would not choose, we really try to pause and say, okay, well, that being the case, what are our options and how do we make the best decision today? And it might be different than the decision we would have made a week ago.
Well, we select art for the cover of the Book of Lists, so that watercolor paintings, keep at it.
Okay,
you never know.
there we go. Yeah.
Maybe in the future, Connie will be selecting your water painting.
Oh, I love
pictures
it.
for the
Yeah,
future,
I have a long way to go. Right now, it's going to be more on the abstract side.
Good.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the Girl Scouts, maybe one thing you guys are hoping to accomplish this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Our two biggest exciting things right now are we're working on some big projects at Camp Sacagawea. So we've been doing just a lot of work behind the scenes with that, a new aquatic center that'll open this June. And then what everyone will be excited about is a new Girl Scout cookie. So cookie program starts February 1st, and the new cookie this year is called Explore More's. And it's our first sandwich cream cookie. So it's a chocolate cookie that's kind of Rocky Road inspired. It's very decadent, and it's one of my new favorites. So
okay, well, next time we do this, you're going to bring some cookies with it onto the show.
Obviously, yeah.
Well, Beth, we appreciate you being here, and thanks for being here at Book of Lists. We
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Have a great night. Thanks for having me. Yep.
Hey, Christina.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Christina? Good to see you too. We are doing a little live stream here, and so we're asking everybody a key priority. So first, introduce yourself and what you do.
Sure. Christina Moffat. I'm a growth consultant here in Des Moines working with small businesses.
Great. So the question I'm asking everybody is, what's a key priority for the new year? So go ahead and share that.
Yeah, for me, it's just continued growth. So for me, I focus on where I can provide value in this town, whether it's helping the next generation learn how to be on boards, whether it's growing that next business, whether it's supporting somebody through something. A huge priority of mine is to keep this community growing.
Good. So talk a little bit about the role as a growth consultant. What are some of the things that you're hoping to help businesses with?
Yeah, biggest thing is, I mean, when anything changes, as of last year, we had a new turnover in legislation. Everybody kind of sits still, and now everybody kind of knows what the priorities are, and we're off and running. So really, it's to help them focus in. We want to make really strategic, intention decisions so that we're not kind of floundering and throwing darts at the wall. We're actually using that growth for momentum.
Well, small businesses have no shortage of things to be navigating through these days. What are maybe some of the key things that you're seeing businesses struggle with or that they're trying to adapt to?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for businesses is just always knowing where to focus. You know what? You're better off to stay really, really focused on what you do well and bring in partners on the things maybe you don't do so well. And so the new year, when that calendar flips, it's a good time to look at what you're doing, kind of decide what you're going to offload, what you're going to stick to, and who you're really going to target to be your clients, and growing those clients you already have.
Good. How about you personally? What are you looking forward to this year?
This year we always travel with our son, so we're going to 2 new places with him. We're taking him to Miami for spring break, and then we're headed up to Vancouver, Canada for summer.
Great. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so thanks for stopping by as well. And we'll see you soon.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Take care. Hey, Zach, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Welcome. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. Zach, go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Zach Russ. I'm the executive director at Iowa Safe Schools, an LGBTQ organization that serves about 10,000 kids a year.
Great. And one of our 40 under 40s, sometimes the classes blend together for me. So last year, or was it 2 years ago already?
Just last year.
Okay. Like I said, they blend together sometimes. We're already getting ready. We got all the nominations coming in this year for the next one, and that closes on Friday. So we're getting all set and ready to roll. So.
Awesome. It was a great experience. I've talked to a couple people that are applying now, so I encourage them to do the same thing.
Good. The question I'm asking everybody is, what's a key priority, something that you're working on this year?
Yeah, we just want to keep kids alive, right? We want to make sure that the bullying stops and that they can just be their authentic selves, and make sure schools are safe places for everyone to go. So.
Well, that doesn't sound like a hard challenge at all. I appreciate the nice way that you got to that, but that's a tough topic.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be dicey, right? But at the end of the day, they're kids, and we just want to make sure they have access to the resources and the support they deserve. So.
What would you say is some of the keys to helping provide a better environment?
Yeah, well, I think, a kid is 80% more likely to have success if they just have one adult that cares about them. And if you can just be that one person for a kid, that's going to change lives. So.
What are some of the ways that Iowa Safe Schools tries to help infuse that in?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 140 student-led GSAs around the state, so teach them leadership. We also train over 3,000 educators every year to make sure their classrooms are safe and accepting and welcoming and things like that. So we're also working, though, because it's a workforce issue for us now, right? 70% of the kids we serve say they don't want to stay in Iowa after. So we've been working with companies and organizations to say, hey, how do we create spaces that these kids want to stay here and make the state the best it can be? So,
well, thank you for your work. It's really important. I've got a kindergartner, and you start going down that line, and now we're interacting in the school system.
Exactly.
We're very fortunate. School's great, but we appreciate the work of a place like Iowa Safe Schools.
Yeah, thank you.
Zach. Appreciate it. Come on in.
Say hi.
Andy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Nice to see you. How are you? Andy, introduce yourself.
My name's Andy Erickson. I'm a fractional marketing director, which is kind of a form of marketing consulting, light version of a marketing agency. So I've been doing that for about 2 years, and it's great to come out here to the Book of List night. It's so many inspiring businesses and seeing so many great leaders around that it's an event you got to come out to.
Yeah, well, so fractional marketing, I've heard a lot of that in the realm of CFOs and some other different roles. If people aren't familiar with the idea of fractional work, what does that look like?
So fractional is a way of getting a senior level person on your team, and you treat them like a team member, not just a contractor or a consultant. So you take them in, but you're also paying them like a consultant. So it's a little bit of both worlds. You don't have the full-time salary commitment, but you get the expertise of a senior level person. So you hear it as some of my friends are doing fractional CMO. So I feel like I'm better as a fractional marketing director because I'm more hands-on. I want to be involved in some of the things more than just the strategy, planning, all that. So basically, people can hire me for 1/3 of the cost of a full-time marketing director.
talk a little bit about maybe what some of your key priorities are for the year.
So this year, AI is the big topic, but I think we all need to calm down a little bit about AI, right? So
I think we've had about 10 to 12 people on here so far. AI's come up in more than half of them so far.
Oh, I bet, right? And it's so how can we be human with AI? It's not going to replace us, but it's going to help put us in hyperdrive for a lot of businesses. So we have to be listening and researching it and slow to activate it. And I think that's where a lot of the things in marketing are evolving very quickly, because we have a million tools out there. We have a million options. So in my role, I have to do the research and be able to say yes to a few things and no to a lot of things, and understand it truly to be what's going to be the most effective, where we can be the most focused, and where we can spend whatever budget we have on the things that are most effective, because things are going to be okay or not truly effective. And the same thing with AI. There's all these tools, what's actually already proven itself, and we just have to wait 6 months to really see if it's effective or not for other people. So I'm telling people, let's wait and see. Let's listen, let's watch, but we don't need to get on the hype train of everything that's happening so fast.
I'm stealing this term, but the sea of sameness.
Sea of sameness,
which
yes.
I think is something really, as you start thinking about it, if AI keeps pumping out the same thing, everyone's going to start sounding and looking and sounding the same, right? And at some point, the point of marketing is to stand out. If you sound like your competitor, you're going to be in that same spot. So I appreciate you stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Andy. Take care. Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Grant Pfeiffer. I'm the Vice President of Quality at LifeServe Blood Center.
Great. So the question we're asking everybody today is, what's a key priority for you in the organization in 2026?
Well, key priority for us every year is making sure that we have enough blood for our hospitals, for our patients in the different areas. So all the communities that we serve throughout Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota area, that's our key mission. We're there to serve the patients of those hospitals.
Talk a little bit about maybe a challenge or something that you guys are working through this year that you're hoping to address.
One of our biggest challenges and one of the biggest things we're working on, we're actually upgrading several different software programs within our organization. So large projects that are going on that are taking up a lot of resources on our end. And so that's a big focus for us this year. But again, for us, every year, it's getting the donors in the door. So one of our softwares that we just implemented is with our donor recruitment, things like that. So making sure that we're getting that message out to those individuals and getting them in the door.
All right. One thing maybe you're really optimistic about for the new year.
I think the thing that I'm most optimistic about for the new year is just the growth that we see in the area and the potential. So I think that that's something that's going to be great over the next year.
Great. Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
How are you?
Welcome.
I'll get rid of my wine. Yes.
She's got to put her wine down. These are the things that are important. I don't think we have a no alcohol policy on this, but
How are you doing?
Good. Jessica, why don't you introduce yourself for the audience?
Hi, I'm Jessica Dunker. I'm the president and CEO of the Iowa Restaurant Association and the Iowa Hotel and Lodging Association.
Well, it struck me, we're 5 years or so removed from the pandemic, right?
Yes.
Restaurants, hotels, some of the most affected. How are things kind of continuing to bounce back here as we get further and further away from that initial point?
Yeah, so at the risk of being the Tammy Faye Baker of the restaurant industry, it continues to be a struggle. About 48% of Iowa's restaurants were not profitable last year, but we have a lot of optimism for 2026. So here's off to hoping that it's a better year ahead.
When you talk about that optimism, what are some of the things that are maybe driving that optimism?
Yeah, so we're starting to see people gathering again. Unfortunately, it's not young people. We're not seeing Gen Z or the millennials gathering at the levels that we need them to. But the boomers and the Xers, we're coming back out, and so that's been very good.
You finally got the kids out of the house and can get out to enjoy it, is what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you'll have to refresh my memory. Did you have a piece in the Business Record just recently on trends around this?
I did. There's a couple of things that we're really looking at hard in the restaurant industry. One is actually the use of GLP-1s. And 8% of the U.S. population is using them now, with the expectation of getting to 30% by 2030. So you are going to see changes in the next 4 or 5 years in the restaurant industry. We want to welcome GLP-1 users into our establishments. You will see menu choices that reflect that. So you can gather when you're on a GLP-1. We understand you're going to eat a little bit less, but come on out. We still want to see you.
I think that's great. The last question for you is a key priority for next year.
Yeah, so in the coming year, we are doing everything we can in our industry to reduce costs and create experiences. So I think you will find more restaurants telling you their stories. You'll hear more about the owners, more about the dishes, because we understand to get people to gather, we have to give them something beyond the food to gather. And so I think you will find that the experience of going into a restaurant is going to be greatly improved, and we're excited about that.
It seems like kind of a basic idea, but I know that that's not. You know, the owner welcoming somebody at the door, those type of things. I think that's standing out more and more. Just in my own experience, as you go to a restaurant, the more you're taken care of in a restaurant environment seems to be the places that we find ourselves as repeat visitors too.
Right, and so what we are really finding is that people want relationship and connection, and if they have that relationship and connection to the owner, they come back. They also want to feel smarter when they leave, and so helping people understand how to order the dishes, what they are, how to pronounce what's on a menu that maybe you don't recognize. We want to be there to help you enhance your own experience and feel great by the time you leave.
Well, Jessica, appreciate you stopping by. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Racker, come on in.
Hi, sir. It's great to see you.
Scott, welcome.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Scott Racker, I'm the Executive Director of the Robert D. and Billy Ray Center at Drake University, and also Co-Executive Director of the Olson Institute for Public Democracy at Drake. So
We appreciate you stopping by. I always enjoy talking with you because I always feel like I leave with a little extra energy. So I'm asking everybody what's a key priority for their year ahead.
wow, there's so many, but I really do believe, and would be remiss if I didn't say from where I come from, that a reinvigorated effort and focus of civil dialogue and civil discourse in our community in challenging, difficult issues. So when we talk about civility, the floor is decency, courtesy, respect, kindness, and we can all do a better job of that. But the real depth that our community continue to strive to emulate is how do we have the hard and difficult, challenging conversations? How do we disagree without being disagreeable? There's different pathways. Every major issue facing our communities, there's different pathways for resolution. But we all know we want to see a better, more vibrant community. So if we keep that big picture in mind of what we're really trying to achieve, I think all of us can come together even better than we have. And the thing I want your listeners to know is that we already are a place in the country that others look to emulate in this. That doesn't mean we can't be better. So we want to continue to be a place that people across the country look to. How did they get that done in the Des Moines metro area? How did they do that in regional central Iowa?
Well, like I said, I always appreciate talking to you because I think there's some folks that if you just blindly, they didn't know who you were and you said, I work on helping form civil dialogue, they might laugh at you in our existing climate, right? I mean, I think that's kind of the reality at the moment, which is sad, but at the same time, the approach that you take, it's hard to even argue with that that's the right approach to be taken.
Well, and I will tell you, there are so many people in our community doing right things well and working hard to collaborate together. We don't have time today to list all the organizations, but if people want to know who they are, and if they're not already getting the business record, they need to get it, because you guys do a great job of showcasing the challenging issues, but also what's happening to elevate those issues. And you do it across all diversities and platforms. So not a shameless plug because I'm not involved, but I will tell you, I look to the business record to find out where we are and what we can do to be better. And so, yes, people do kind of chuckle. Oh, yeah, we need more civility and character and ethical leadership. And at the same time, we all can get better. And that's what I love about this is there are no perfect people, but as a community we come together, we are still small enough in size that when we go after a particular challenge or issue, we resolve it here. It doesn't get worse. And I think that's one of the blessings of this community.
Well, I appreciate the way you said that because that's the language I try to use is that there's all sorts of challenges in the community, all sorts of things that we know we're going to be reporting on. I don't want to just point at the challenge. I want to say, here's the challenge and here's what people are trying to do to affect that and what can we do to potentially affect that too. So I appreciate you.
Well,
I appreciate the language that you're bringing in.
Well, I appreciate because you are solution focused. We have to look at what the challenges are. And I'll give you just recently, just came out again today, was the piece that I got on my e-news about the transitional leadership and what the leaders that are transitioning, what they're doing. I mean, that's a template for the rest of us of how do we evolve in this community to continue to add value beyond just our professional career pursuits. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Scott. Appreciate you stopping
Take care.
by.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Bye-bye.
Mayor Bozen, how are you?
Fine, how
Thanks
are
for
you?
stopping by. I'm going to have you come a little bit closer
Okay.
just so it's loud. All right, introduce yourself just in case people don't know who you are.
Connie Bozen, Mayor of Des Moines.
All right, Connie, I'm asking everybody, what's one priority that you're focused in on in 2026?
It's the continued redevelopment and revitalization of our neighborhoods, helping take care of the homeless situation and what we can do to improve lives for people.
Well, I know we've had a chance to talk about that, and you've been on some of our panels. Talk a little bit about maybe where things stand with that challenge.
Well, I think the issue is really on what we can provide. I know that we had a complete group that worked through the Bloomberg Harvard City Initiative, and we're implementing it now where we can find a non-congregate site to help people live in more individual settings. And so we've got a couple of ideas, and we're trying to find the funding and the place that we could put something like that.
As you are looking ahead to your city has all sorts of challenges that you have to navigate. What's maybe something that you're looking at that you're trying to address?
Well, I think the one thing, we have a whole neighborhood strategy, and how do we redevelop our neighborhoods? Des Moines, of course, we're the oldest city, and how do we revitalize? We have had implementation up in the Highland Park, Oak Park area. We've seen significant growth, and how do we replicate that along Ingersoll and just revitalize our housing stock, make people want to come live and work and play in Des Moines.
As you think about your year personally ahead, how do you try to approach the new year?
Looking at opportunity, being positive and saying if we all work together, we can accomplish a lot.
Well, I know the city faces a lot of pressure in the property tax and all those type of things, so you're getting probably ready for property tax season to come around as far as the legislature. What's kind of your approach been as you've thought about how the legislature might approach that?
I think the biggest thing on property taxes, what we found is that we got penalized for growth, and I think you want growth and you want to be able to offer the services our citizens want. And so we have to look at, if you do this, well, how does it impact it? And we need to have a new approach on what are the services and how do we cover those services. And in our case, our cut was because of the reduction in the growth structure. So how do we do it fairly so we can still keep cities moving forward, providing the services they want, but also give relief to our citizens?
Well, and I know Des Moines, we've talked about it, Des Moines has to provide services often for people that aren't necessarily citizens in Des Moines, and that's a consistent challenge.
Well, as a capital city, every capital city faces this, and we're the only city that probably has over 40% you cannot tax. So we have a distinct disadvantage. So how do we equalize and get fair practices for some of the amenities we provide and the services we provide?
Well, that sounds like you got a busy year ahead of you, but I have no question that you'll address those challenges as best you can. So thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Tammy. How are you?
I'm great.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tammy, I'm going to have you come right in a little bit closer for me.
Okay.
Okay. Introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about my key priority for the year.
I'm Tammy Nielsen. I'm the CEO of Food Bank of Iowa.
All right, Tammy, and how long have you been in the role now?
I've been in the role since June 1st, but an interim as of January 1st, so really finished a full year.
Okay, so a full year. What maybe a takeaway from your first year on the role?
Oh, things are never boring. There's always a lot of work to do, and getting more involved in the community and collaborating with folks who are like-minded and mission-focused has just been a gift. Everybody in this community has been so welcoming and really helping me as I eased into this new role at the food bank, so I'm forever grateful for that.
Tammy, I'm asking everybody a key priority for their year ahead. Last year, a lot of pressure in the food system. There's been increasing pressure even pre-pandemic and now post-pandemic, additional pressures. Talk a little bit about some of the priorities that for you all next year.
Well, we want to make sure that we're getting proper nutrition to all of the Iowans in need. We see that proper nutrition is really preventive medicine. And so we're working more toward education. We're working on advocacy to try to make certain that our elected officials understand what we do and the extent of which we do it. And so really just learning more and educating more people about what we do, how we do it, and the importance of nutrition for all Iowans.
As you think about next year, maybe one thing that you're feeling optimistic about for next year?
Well, we're thrilled to death that summer EBT has been approved for the state of Iowa for this summer. Wonderful, wonderful resource for kiddos and their families while school is out. And so we are really thrilled to have that resource available to families who need it.
Well, that's great. Thank you for all your work in such a critical area. We, of course, do Iowa Stops Hunger, which is part of our effort to help ensure that the business community and our cultural communities understand that challenge. And it's an area that we care deeply about at BPC, so thank you for all the work that you do in that area.
Absolutely. We appreciate your support. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Catherine, come on in, Catherine.
Make me sound really good, aren't you?
I will. Catherine was hiding her purse, just making sure any of these the thieves here at Book of List don't take it from you. Catherine, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Yes, Chris, I'm Catherine Kunert with Mid-American Energy Company.
All right, so Catherine, how long have you actually been with Mid-American Energy?
You know, I'm on my 30th year. Okay. Believe it or not, it's the longest I've done anything.
I was going to say,
except breathe.
I started at Business Record in 2009, and I thought, well, I think Catherine was there at that point too. So
yeah.
There's fewer and fewer folks that have been here long enough that I was there when I started. So tell us a little bit about your role with Mid-American Energy.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of working at Mid-American Energy with our large customers, our communities. So we serve 1.5 million customers, and so I have the opportunity to work with all of them in our 4 states, 420 communities, from city staff to city councils to mayors to our largest customers, whether it's manufacturing, data centers, and then Main Street businesses as well. So it's an awesome job because guess what? Everybody needs electric and gas. And so we're in everybody's home, we're in everybody's business, literally. And we know that is an honor, and we know it's a huge responsibility, and we do not take it lightly.
Tell us a little bit maybe about a priority for Mid-American in this coming year and how you guys are looking at the future here.
Right, so we recognize that electricity and the needs for electricity are only heightened. People are much more aware today of the impact of electricity in their life, right? Now they're looking at it more than just turning on their lights and staying warm. So what we're always looking at, Chris, is that all of the above approach to maintain our 3-legged stool, which is affordability, reliability, and sustainability. So our whole focus is about that and making sure everybody's safe. It's at the core of who we are. And the delivering on our tagline of obsessively, relentlessly at our service. It's more than a tagline, it's actually in our DNA. And that covers across all aspects of our work, whether it's volunteering in the community or restoring power after an outage.
It strikes me that we typically are relatively fortunate here that those are some of the concerns that a lot of people, we don't have to think about, but other states do have to think about. Other businesses have to think about there being rolling outages and other types of situations. We just kind of take it for granted. I think that's a testament to the work you all do.
Yes, thank you. And we work on that all day as we take the opportunity to review our systems at all time. We're constantly seeing, does there need to be an upgrade? Is there a new technology that we can deploy? And boy, we've done a lot over the last few years to ensure that we are able to bring on our customers as quickly as possible. We have so many processes in place along with the technology and then the best employees in the world to make that happen for our customers.
Well, and now in Iowa, that's going to be leading the parent company for Mid-American as well, so that's got to be exciting too.
Oh, it's so exciting. He's loved and beloved, and he's been in the community for 26 plus years, and so he's known, and we're blessed to have him in so many ways.
All right, one last question, something that you're really optimistic for the new year.
I am optimistic that we continue on with our collaboration, our cooperation, and really putting all of our energy and efforts together to ensure that we have the best place to live in the United States.
You said it well, so thank you, Catherine.
Thank
Appreciate you stopping
for
by.
All you do.
And I didn't see anybody come for your purse,
all right,
so you're
thanks.
good. Hey, Tiffany, welcome. How are you?
Great.
Welcome. Come a little bit closer here for me. Okay, Tiffany, you actually probably do this part better. I was going to say, you might do that. Former news anchor, right? So, Tiffany, why don't you introduce yourself just in case people don't know who you are?
You got it. Tiffany Tauschek, and I am the President and CEO of the Greater Des Moines Partnership.
All right, so the question I'm asking everybody is, what's a key priority for the year ahead?
Well, you will, of course, hear more about our priorities at the Partnership Annual Dinner in a couple weeks.
And on what date is that? You get
January
the
22nd,
there you go.
so 2 weeks from today.
Perfect.
But if I were to really wrap it up in a theme or 2 themes, it would be leadership and innovation. As you know, we've had a lot of leadership changes happening throughout the region, and we have a lot of really great programs that we're rolling out, some with you.
Yep, absolutely.
Related to those, supporting those leadership transitions. And then innovation, as you know too, we're talking a lot about AI, but we also want to make sure that we're continuing to expand and grow our entrepreneurial ecosystem. So leadership and innovation.
You mentioned the annual dinner. The speaker, that's going to slip my mind, but Energy Bus is the book,
Gordon,
right? John
yes.
Gordon. Okay, so give me a little bit of a preview of what you're hoping he can bring to that event.
Yeah, so John Gordon he's our keynote, and he's a best-selling author, has had 32 books, and one of the books is The Energy Bus. It is a quick and easy read. You can get through this book in a matter of
Even I got through that one, so we're good, yes.
And one of my favorite things about the Energy Bus book is that it talks all about the energy you bring to a team. And you can choose to make the day better and take the positive outlook, or you can choose to be the energy vampire. And the whole point is there's no need for energy vampires. Let's all be positive. So I think you'll really enjoy the speech.
Well, that's good. One thing that maybe you're optimistic about for the new year.
Oh, all of it. With the new year comes a fresh beginning, a fresh start, even though certainly we're building on the past, really looking forward to what's to come.
Well, good. Tiffany, thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Hi, how are you? Welcome, come on in. All right, Sherry, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sherry Nielsen with Easter Seals, Iowa.
All right, Sherry, talk a little bit about Easter Seals and what you all do there.
Yeah, so Easter Seals provides services and supports to individuals with disabilities across the state of Iowa, so they have the same opportunity to live, learn, work, and play as other individuals.
Well, the question I'm asking everybody is, what's a key priority that you all have for the new year ahead?
We're really focusing on getting services to people. There's long waiting lists for individuals with disabilities to receive services in the state of Iowa. So we're trying to be really creative in how we provide those services and making sure that our teams are ready to serve individuals with complex needs.
As you think about the year ahead, what's maybe something that you're feeling really optimistic about?
Well, being in the Des Moines community is amazing because we have such a philanthropic community, individuals who want to help nonprofits succeed and understand the importance of nonprofits in community development and success.
Well, that's great. As you look ahead to the new year, a challenge maybe that you all are trying to overcome?
You know, I think staffing continues to be a struggle for us. We want to make sure that we are an environment where people want to come and stay. And in Iowa, we just have a shortage of workforce. So we're all competing for great talent.
Sherry, appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Emily, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Emily Abbas, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, Emily Abbas. I'm with Bankers Trust.
All right, Emily, how long have you been with Bankers Trust now?
Gosh, a little over 11 years.
Okay,
Time flies when you're having fun.
I was gonna say, I thought maybe you'd been. Oh well, I had accidentally emailed you a couple weeks ago to your old email address. That's right. That's what was triggering in my mind.
That's okay.
Emily, I'm asking everybody a key priority for the year ahead. So what's something that maybe you or your team are looking to do?
I think just focusing on team health. Let's make sure our team is all understands how they contribute to our bank's strategic priorities, making sure we're hiring the right people, we're onboarding them well, we're treating them well, we're helping them create the culture that's meaningful for them, because that way that they want to stay with us and we can really focus on and invest in them versus focusing on hiring new folks.
I've heard that theme a couple different times from different folks, and I'm just curious where that's maybe coming from. What's making you think about focusing so much in that space?
We've just been doing so well in that space. Our turnover for our consumer banking team was 15% this year, which is about half of the national average, and we thought something's going really right here. Let's continue to build on that strength versus focus on a weakness, because we only have so many training resources, and I'd rather pour them into the team we have and helping them feel better about their jobs and move up in their jobs and work through succession planning than to always focus those resources on brand new people.
Well, I know you're really involved in the community. Is there maybe a nonprofit or something that you're working on right now that you're really interested to share about?
You know, I'm going to give you a more general answer because I just think collaboration is one of our biggest wins and what really makes our community special, and the way that we all work together and promote regionalism and do what's best for the community when it comes to the resources we need, when it comes to promoting arts and culture. And there's so many organizations that are doing great work in that. I mean, Partnership, United Way, Bravo, so many.
All right, last question. What's something you're really optimistic for the new year?
Optimistic. It's just going to be a great year. You know, I feel like everyone at the end of the last few years has said, oh, let's kick this one to the curb and let's make this one not that way.
All right, I like
Let's
it.
give
All
each
right.
other a little grace and focus on ourselves and focus on our people around us, and we'll all be better at the end of the year.
Emily, I appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, take care. Mary, yeah, come on in. Mary, welcome.
Thank you.
And come a little bit closer to me. I'm not that scary, I promise. So Mary Sellers, why don't you introduce yourself just in case people don't know what you do?
Mary Sellers, President, United Way of Central Iowa.
All right, Mary, it's the question I'm asking everybody is what's a key priority for you all for the year ahead? And so as you think about the United Way, what's something that you all are focused on?
So we have been focused for the past couple of years on ensuring that everyone in Central Iowa has the opportunity to thrive. And so we're looking at essential needs, we're looking at early childhood education, health and well-being, and economic opportunity. So that continues to be our focus.
As there's been a lot of pressure on the nonprofit community, talk a little bit about how you've tried to navigate that as the United Way.
Yeah, so we've been doing flash surveys since April of last year and continue to monitor how this is impacting nonprofits. And it's had some significant impacts in terms of federal funding and other aspects of funding. But what we've learned is that the nonprofit community is resilient. I would also say that many of the nonprofits in our community and communities across the country are the ones that deliver the primary services on behalf of the government. And so when they start to lose funding, then we have an issue with services for people.
Well, and a lot of times I think those services are helping prevent situations and outcomes that are going to ultimately be a challenge at some point in the equation. So even if those organizations are struggling right now, maybe we don't feel the effects quite on a global scale, but that's a big challenge as we go forward.
That's definitely correct. And as I talk to colleagues around the country, this is happening in every community. And so I worry about how this kind of builds upon itself and what it means for communities across the country. Obviously, I'm very concerned about how it impacts Des Moines, but it's happening across the country.
Well, it's a topic that we're going to be discussing at the Power Breakfast. I think we might have made a reach out to you to participate in that, and it's such an important topic because nonprofits in our community are such an integrated part with the business community and culture community. So I appreciate all the work that you do in that space.
Well, appreciate you, Chris. Thanks.
Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. This has been our Book of Lists live event. This is the first time doing this. We've got about 700 of our friends and colleagues here that are out tonight. We're about to go unveil the magazine, so I'm going to go ahead and cut us off here. I hope you enjoyed getting to know some of the folks that are out here at the event tonight. Have a great evening.